what do you know about industrial hemp?
Industrial hemp?
Off the top of your head.
A lot of other uses than smoking dope.
I know hemp is like the part of the cannabis plant that like you can make into fabrics and stuff, that kind of thing. Or
Okay.
I know it's in lotions and stuff, but
Okay, what do you think hemp is?
I have no idea.
No idea what hemp is?
Industrial hemp? Not much, I guess.
That they make ropes out of it, and back when I was farming, they made gunny sacks out of it, and
I don't know a lot. I know you can make stuff out of it. That's about it, right?
What can you make out of it, you know?
Pretty much a lot of things. I think like paper and
Anything, really?
yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Nothing.
Industrial hemp?
Yeah, industrial hemp.
I know nothing about industrial hemp.
Industrial hemp.
Nothing. Never used it.
Anybody got an opinion?
No, we do not, so we're not going to help.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. What do you know about industrial hemp?
Also nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Not a lot.
Not a lot?
Inform me.
Well, I want to try to know what you know. What do you know about industrial hemp, Josiah?
Industrial hemp. I know.
What can it do for you?
It can put you in a better place.
Industrial hemp, I've never heard of it before.
I know it's a grass.
That's
type
true.
of grass. Okay.
Yes.
So I know that it should be used for medicinal purposes and not for anything.
It's not a recreational thing, right?
No, not at all.
Hemp?
You don't know anything, do you?
Nope.
Okay. What do you know about hemp?
Depends what it is.
Industrial hemp.
Legalize it.
Right?
Nothing.
Do you know what industrial hemp is?
No, I don't.
Do you think it's marijuana?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
Zero.
Zero. Okay. Do you know anything about it?
Did you say industrial hemp?
Hemp. Yes. H-E-M-P.
I mean, I assume you mean dope, marijuana, whatever.
That is what most people assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
I
What
know.
is industrial
Like,
hemp?
like my shirt is made out of industrial hemp.
Oh, but I just know hemp is a sister, like cousin thing, root to like weed, and that like it's really beneficial. They have it in like foods and like I just know that they make it out of like products and stuff like that.
Like
It's
the
an-
lotion and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
lotions,
I know
like
that.
shirts, like
I do know that.
granolas, like powders, everything. Basically
I know,
everything.
basically everything.
Do you want to smoke my shirt? My shirt's made out of marijuana.
Is that right?
This shirt right here. No, this one right here.
Oh,
No, yeah.
you smell good.
Thank you. I smell good. Would you also say you support subsidizing hemp? Like if we were to like grow hemp?
No, I would not. I would not subsidize hemp.
Well, what if I told you we could, instead of growing all this corn that we put into our fuel
You know,
tanks?
see, I'm a farmer. I grow apples, pears, and cherries in Wenatchee, and so we don't get subsidized for what we do.
Okay.
So we're at the mercy of what the markets are, and you got to take the ups and the downs. And
Okay.
that's if you're going to get into a business, you can't ask to be subsidized. I mean, I don't agree with the wheat and corn subsidies either, but you know that's just the way I've always been raised. So. You know,
Okay.
You know, if there's a good opportunity out there to make money, you should make money. This is a capitalistic country, so.
That was a good question. I like that answer.
It was a good
Okay.
answer. It was a shitty question.
Honestly, like I think that if I had longer with you, I could prove to you that like hemp would be a good thing to subsidize instead of at least corn
There's
and.
lots of things in this country that need to be subsidized, like say health care.
Okay.
But you have to make your choices as to what you're going to subsidize.
Okay.
And I don't think hemp is going to be necessarily on the top of the list because clothes are cheap. So
But you can make fuel out of hemp.
that's awesome. You make fuel out of corn. You can make.
You can't make it as efficiently. If I told you, okay, here's what I'm going to say. If you could make 10 times as much fuel out of hemp as corn, would you say that we should subsidize it?
I would like to look into it and see what it is. I mean, that'd be.
Are
cool.
you going to watch my documentary?
I am now.
Tell me off the top of your head first, Shannon, what do you know about industrial hemp?
Necklaces and bracelets.
That's what you can make out of them?
Yes, that's what I think.
What about my shirt?
Probably hemp.
It's made out of hemp.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that it's a good idea for it to be legalized?
Sure. Why not?
Like, why not, right? What do you know about industrial hemp? Tell me about it.
I just like that it has a variety of different uses. So it's a sustainable product as well. So you can use it reuse it, use it for oils and lotions and shirts and necklaces and medicinal also, because it has great medicinal qualities as well. But also because, like you said, if it's something that's going to generate another area of business or jobs or money coming into this country that actually is going to do good, then I'm all about it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, the agricultural industry is definitely struggling, and I feel like needs something that can, slide in and actually make them some money. And I think that it's not going to be easy to just start. So that's why I think subsidization is important, and that's kind of the more controversial question I have about hemp. Because
why is it controversial?
Well, because we're asking you to pay for it, us to pay for it, just like we already do for things that are not as efficient. And we all know that we're trying to make fuel out of corn, and we do, and put it in our gas tanks. But we have to dedicate much more land than we need to or should be, and also much more water and resources to that it's an inefficient process. It's almost better to just drill for oil than it is to try to make ethanol out of the ways that we do it right now. And so, I mean, biofuel is a great idea, but it should be out of something you can grow a lot of, not something that only grows a little bit and you only take it from the kernels of the corn. It's inefficient.
And I would assume it's also inefficient and really expensive. So yes. I like the idea of it, but it's going to be more expensive, and there's not going to be a ton of jobs necessarily that come out of it. Then why are we doing it?
Out of how we do it currently.
Yes.
Right.
Individuals that good intentions are claim to be environmentalist, green people, but don't recognize the expense that goes into being quote unquote green.
Right. And so hemp, you could grow potentially 3 to 4 times as many yields in 1 year as opposed to the same acre of corn. So why not? That's the question that I always have.
So we're pro hemp.
I think we should use CBD in a different way too.
There's lots of CBD oil in hemp. That's the only the medicinal product that we would be getting from hemp. And that already is federally legal in 50 states. Did you know that?
You're correct.
Yeah. Research
Have
purposes?
Have you heard of Basic Jane?
Tell me about it.
It's a product out of Seattle, and it's lotion product that it's a hemp product that helps
Basic Jane's?
Basic Jane, and it's a hemp product. It helps arthritis and that kind of thing.
Do you support that, by the way? Subsidization of corn fuel?
No, I don't.
It's inefficient, right?
I race cars, so E85, which is pretty much the same thing, makes cars go faster, but when you look at the carbon footprint to process it, doesn't make sense.
Because, you have to put so much water and so much land.
Correct.
So few yields per year with corn.
Equipment to harvest it.
So, okay.
Equipment to process it.
So what I'm going to get at here with why I'm asking about corn is hemp is much more efficient to do this with. And if we were going to subsidize something, it should probably be something more efficient, right? If I told you could do 10 yields a year of hemp as opposed to maybe 2 or 3 of corn and make probably twice to 3 times as much fuel per yield, isn't that better? Better to subsidize?
One would think so, but not until I sit down and can I lay it all out in front of me, can I make a decision like that.
Sure. But just, if I'm correct, it would be, right?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Where we live, they got a big field of hemp growing.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, Oregon is actually one of the #1 states for industrial hemp, and it's actually going to be federally legalized this year because of Mitch McConnell and other Republicans getting bipartisan support from Democrats as well, and it's going to have federal legalization this year. Would you guys support federal legalization of industrial hemp?
Certainly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Come from farming.
Great. Okay. Well, this has been a question I've been asking after that, and it's how the corn and the wheat industry is subsidized. Would you also support subsidization of industrial hemp?
I look at it this way: if you're going to support one, you need to support the other.
Right. I don't I don't agree with the
So subsidies for-
Of any-
of the corn and stuff.
But
No.
Because it's inefficient, though. It's inefficient to grow corn for fuel, right?
Exactly.
So if we could grow 10 times as much fuel with hemp being subsidized, wouldn't that be a better idea?
It'd probably be a better idea, but still, I don't believe in this subsidizing stuff, because in Oregon there we have to have the fuel, with the corn and biofuel and stuff. Your fuel mileage just went down. So all it was to me was a 20 or 25% tax, because your fuel mileage went down and the price went up.
So since it's becoming legalized, that's great, but would you also even support it being subsidized, like how corn and wheat is in this country?
I would have to look into that, because that gets into a different territory. But I do know that sometimes early on in any industry, you're going to need potentially some government help to get it going. But then that can be also a problem on the long term. So I guess it would have to be a really strong, I don't know.
I don't know a whole lot. It's certainly something I'd like to learn more about, but I do know that it's a lot more environmentally friendly than, say, wood products or, for making paper and all of those things, I think, and fabrics for clothing and all of those.
What about fuel?
That I don't know anything about.
Right now we make all of our fuel that we put into our gas tank from the ground, like
Right.
oil or corn is very popular. That's
Right.
Which is not very efficient. Don't you
it's
think
not.
it would be better out of hemp?
As far as I know, it sounds like it would be, because it grows quickly, correct? Yeah.
Very,
so-
very quickly.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's one of those things that I think if a lot of people understood a lot more of, because I think when people hear hemp, they think, oh, it's potheads, it's whatever. But it's, it's kind of like, I consider it kind of similar to bamboo, and that it's one of those things that if you learn more about it, you understand the environmental impacts of it and how much more helpful it is for the environment than anything else. So I'd like to learn more myself, so.
So do you guys think that industrial hemp is marijuana?
No clue.
It is not,
It is
right?
not marijuana. Okay,
Yes.
Tell me, why is it not marijuana?
Because science.
Right? Yes, because of science. So since there's science, hemp is not marijuana. If you break it down, it'd be kind of like comparing, maybe cauliflower to broccoli.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. So if broccoli got you high and cauliflower didn't, would you say that cauliflower should be illegal just like broccoli?
No.
That doesn't make sense, right?
Right.
Okay. But since we're in Washington, broccoli's legal here.
Yes, it is.
That's-
As is cauliflower.
Yes. Well. Yes. I like our metaphoric speak here. Do you think it would be a better idea to grow hemp since it's more efficient?
Yeah.
So would you also support that idea to grow hemp for fuel?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I know it's used to create products like clothing. There's just a number of products I can't think off the top of my head, but I know clothing's a big one.
Yeah, well, I was showing my shirt is made out of hemp. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So would you support hemp being legalized if it wasn't already?
Oh yeah, yes.
And do you think that hemp is marijuana?
No, it is not.
Tell me, what is the difference between hemp and marijuana?
You cannot get high off hemp. Hemp is used for creating products, and marijuana has THC, which is what you get high off of.
Right now, we federally subsidize the growth of corn and wheat, which is important to a certain extent, right?
Yeah.
But would you also support us as a country subsidizing the growth of hemp?
Yes.
Okay, great. Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to tell us about hemp?
It's a great product. It would honestly solve a lot of problems. I know you can use it to create paper, and I feel like that would help with deforestation, and there's just a number of pros versus the cons, and I haven't really met any cons, so.
Would you be excited to know that it is going to be legalized this year?
Yeah, actually, that'd be awesome.
It actually has been illegal for almost 100 years now. I think
why do they
over
sell it
100
at Whole
years.
Foods?
Because it's legal to consume.
But it's illegal to grow.
Correct.
Isn't that fucked up? Does that not make sense to you?
That's why we're here right now.
Well,
I agree.
Fix that.
That's crazy.
We are.
Fix that.
We're working on it.
That's fucked up.
Okay.
America.